Alright, I already have this one worked out for you, and I'll show you where stuff is coming from. So it told me to plot the points. I plotted A is at minus 2, 5. I plotted B, which is 4, minus 3, and I plotted C, which is at minus 2, minus 3. I've already made the lines connected them, so I see a nice triangle there, and hopefully we see that that's going to be a right triangle. And then it asked me for AC, which is how far is it from A to C. Well, if I just count, I start walking along this line. If I start at A and end at C, it's 8 units. CB, if I start at C, walk along, start at C, walk along until I get to B, 6 units. The more difficult one is AB. How far is it from A to B? But if I remember my Pythagorean theorem, I can do A squared, so this side squared, plus this side squared has to be equal to this side squared. So 8 squared is 64, 6 squared is 36. 64 plus 36 is 100. So 100 has to be equal to this side squared. So this side squared equals 100. So that means this side's got to be 10. AB is 10. Pythagorean theorem naturally leads us into the distance formula. So there's my triangle, and they've got the points labeled. If this is x1 and this is y1, and this is x2 and y2, if I do the Pythagorean theorem, how long is this in the x direction? I just subtract my x's. x2 minus x1 is how far this distance is. To figure out what this distance is, subtract the y's. y2 minus y1. Square them. This is basically my a squared. This is basically my b squared. And it's equal to the c squared, which is my distance. So this is the formula that we need. You will have this on your star formula sheet. You will also have the midpoint formula on your star formula sheet. So you don't have to memorize them. I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time, specifically trying to memorize it, but you should be very, very familiar with it, and you should know where it comes from.